please remember to leave a like, a comment, share the video about, and if you haven't already, subscribe. Thank you. Well, isn't this just fantastic? Within the exhibition of stupid people number 314 and 315, along with the video titled KSI and Logan Paul Need to Stop and KSI and Logan Paul Are Farming for Clicks, we have discussed, at semi-reasonable length, KSI's obsession, a mentality derived from a child who thinks because I keep on speaking and everyone's moved on, I've won the argument. Think Destiny, the political left-leaning commentator, speaking really fast in a debate, believing that because he has carried on speaking, he is victorious. He has debunked you, he is a champion, exalted by the chaos gods. In the case of KSI, he has all the Dragon Balls and got to make his wish, to have sex with Beerus. What I thought I'd do is take a look at what's been going on in the world of KSI of late, not least because his song Thick of It has entered a few charts and we should talk about that, but also the fact that he's not really fond of his detractors. For example, Kira, imagine your song being so bad that Conor McGregor wants to beat your ass. A retweet of Dexa2, Conor McGregor says he wants to fight KSI for his BS song. Now there's a clip for that we'll get to soon. KSI though replied, "Why don't you show your face instead of hiding behind a silver Ben 10, you effing pussy." It's not Ben 10. Although the readers added context, it's Danny Phantom. I understand why he said it, because there's an art style you'd associate with that genre, like Dexter's Laboratory. Very simplistic art style, Powerpuff Girls as well, but a good art style. KSI retweeted Kira by saying, "Imagine begging me for a follow, then spreading hate towards my music when I don't Lamau." Images included from 2023. "I trust you, now you can follow back." Now can you follow back, sorry. And a second one, follow back as well. Also from 2023. Kira replied to this by saying, "What does this have to do with your song being ass?" A Twitter account called KSI News tweeted, "Conor McGregor calls out KSI for a boxing fight." And this is the reference to the BS song. I'll play the clip here.
"You called out KSI a few times. Could we ever see that fight down the line?"
Let's go, man.
Any messages for KSI?
I'll fight him for that song he released alone. I'll fight him for that song alone.
Many people have offered to fight KSI because of this song, by the way. And I have, yes, taken the liberty of going to Spotify, promptly erasing it from my search history and listening to Thick of It. It's an unusually poppy song. A small part of me thinks you are trying to subvert your normal style of content, musically that is, by introducing a more mainstream, acceptable element into your music. It doesn't work, and the lyrics don't either, mostly because you could be regarded as one of the more out-of-touch people, certainly within the music industry and in the YouTube space. Virtually everything you've touched has turned to gold. You are filthy rich, so your music, this song especially, doesn't resonate because it doesn't make sense because everyone knows you. Nothing about you has ever been a struggle. Boy, you're a privately educated child. Your parents struggled, you didn't. You are the definition of privilege because you benefited from all the hard work your parents put into giving you the chance to be you and to succeed at it. I've seen the buy rate on some of your fights. Hundreds of thousands, 2 of them over 1 million. Logan Paul and Tommy Fury, for those interested, generating phenomenal amounts of money. Okay, I say phenomenal, I think the Logan Paul one had a buy rate of 1.3 and made 2 million. That must have been a cheap fight. Anyway, continuing with this, because I could go on all day about how privileged you actually are. KSI retweets KSI News by saying, "You can hear the coke in his voice, such an idiot." Now I don't know if KSI is the one tweeting all this, but I could believe he is, and I say that because his account is run by Team KSI. This is how wealthy you are. You can actually have other people step in and run your accounts. Courtesy of Sidemen Updates, KSI's Thick of It is projected to chart in the Billboard Hot 100. Now this isn't much of a flex. It really isn't. We'll get to why in a moment. KSI though, haters looking real dumb right now. The thing you've got to think here is, the haters put you on that chart by memeing your song to high hell. The Spotify numbers will undoubtedly lean towards that. Reactors as well if they could be bothered to suffer it. this again isn't much of a flex, but it is for you because the majority of your success, KSI, is in the United Kingdom. That's where your albums are certified gold. It's where you've gotten a #1. I don't know if you're working on a third album or an EP, but if this, The Thick of It, is a part of it, I would highly recommend not including it. Replies to KSI underneath. The haters put it on the charts, okay, that's what I said, and the world of KSI never dropped Thick of It, including an image of what is regarded a Jetsons-esque utopia. And the only reason people listen to it is to make fun of you. I know underneath there are many more replies about your forehead. We'll avoid those for the time being. Okay, so skip ahead 2 days. KSI's Thick of It, featuring somebody, debuts at number 84 on this week's Hot 100. It is the highest debut on the chart this week. Not much of a flex. I assume the other 99 entries are Sabrina Carpenter. It's just one song and many different remix alterations. She's quite popular right now and I still don't know who she is. KSI, let's laugh at all the haters. All the laughs you played yourself. Yes and no, because you got there. That's great. Certainly for you, somebody who, according to your own discography on Wikipedia, only have 2 entries in single form there. The other one being Lose with Lil Wayne. Some of your biggest songs that got certified in the United Kingdom did not chart anywhere in the US. So is it really the haters playing themselves? As far as singles in the United Kingdom, this is one of your lowest. If you go back to your albums, that is only, not before then with the EP stuff. If you go with Dissimulation and All Over the Place, this places itself as your 4th, maybe 5th lowest. It's not great, is it now? And it didn't do that well in many other charts, by the way. So the haters didn't play anything. Additionally, your songs, your past 4 singles, not one has been certified. The biggest slump in yours since before your first album dropped, where none of them have been certified. I think if you're going to analyse and be a bit more critical on what you're up to, it makes more sense to acknowledge you are not as successful as you think you are musically, and while this is 2 spots higher than Lose, take into consideration where it would actually be had the haters not listened to it to promote your song in the first place. Because unless it climbs, this isn't exactly a brag. And yes, I'm going to be that guy. It's not a good song, JJ, I listen. Replies underneath. Let's laugh at KSI. Ha 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 ha. You played your own song. I was going to read the one above it, but the second part of that tweet made me go, no. KSI, retweeting Pop Bass. Tom Holland to launch non-alcoholic beer, Bero, yes, on October 16th. Now I know why this is, because he, Tom Holland, had very openly, publicly spoken about, during the height of his fame during Spider-Man, once he was allowed to drink, he was drinking pretty heavily. So making his own beer, because he likes beer, but non-alcoholic, makes sense. There is a rise in non-alcohol-based drinks that would include some gins, some rums, I think there's a whiskey as well, blasphemy, and there are some beers already. Heineken's well known for it. There's a German one whose name I can't be asked to pronounce because I don't speak loser. And there's also Guinness for those who like Irish drinks. Totally fine. KSI though used this for something else, a different point. What happened to actors, man? I can't not say anything anymore. This is selling stuff for the sake of making money. Simple. How does this benefit their fans? This is selling crap to people who don't know better than to trust the people who are selling it to them do better. I think I've already amply demonstrated that I knew Tom Holland enough to know that that was why he created this beer, or got involved and collaborated to create this beer. It makes sense. I doubt, to be honest, it will be a mainstream success, but it'll be another entry within the realm of non-alcohol based beverages that people like Tom Holland can enjoy without the risk of addiction, which I do believe was his concern. He does underneath reply to himself by saying, for those who don't know, I'm not serious, just another dig at Dan TDM because I'm petty. Reply, imagine Tom Holland seeing this. KSI, would be jokes to be fair. He'll know I'm not being serious anyway. As someone that doesn't drink alcohol anymore, I think it's a dope idea. I'm always happy when actors, you rubers, produce new products for people. I'm a progressive guy. Lol. The reply that I like though, my brother in Christ, he's marketing this to adults. You know, people can make their own decisions. You're selling a glorified Lunchable. I have no doubt that that Lunchable is going to make a boatload of money if they don't get into some kind of legal lawsuit problem, moment situation type deal. It tickles me anyway. The fact we are so many weeks removed from that initial Dan TDM tweet, and KSI, who must be tweeting these, is still bothered by it, tells everyone that Dan lives in KSI's head, the part where the massive forehead is. Yeah. rent-free. He has a condo, a penthouse with a view at the masses that get to, enjoy KSI's work. Fact is, though, no offense intended here, JJ, you really do need to let this one go. You really do. The fact you're still going, even though it has diminished, I'll give you credit for that, is impressive. The whole discussion around Lunchley has died off, but you're the one bringing it back. So when Nick Diorio accused people like yourself of farming for clicks, there's a point to it. If you've been hearing random scratching in the background, I'd like to apologise here. My dog right next to me has decided, only when recording, to abuse her dog. Okay, well done, Plumpy. Now back to the whole farming for clicks thing. The fact that KSI's still doing it shows a level of dedication, but actually goes back to my original point near at the start. He is incapable of letting go, because he has to have the last word in, because that's the only way he can feel like he won. KSI is in a rather unique place right now, where he doesn't care about possessions, he doesn't care about anything. He just wants to do things and be busy. We know this because, and I've watched the content enough, people have spoken about how you're willing to just throw money at things to have it, or just to resolve it. Because you've got so much money you don't have to care, you take for granted. Words are one of the few places where you can actually value what someone says, and you can't necessarily put a price on it. Because of that, you don't like it when someone says something counter to you, which is a bit tragic, isn't it? To big KSI up, by the way, this week, he has featured on a TV show, Britain's Got Talent auditions, because Bruno Toglioni was ill, I believe, as a judge. So KSI featured briefly, Amanda Holden pulled a prank on him, and that is where we now reside. The point of this, for me, was to demonstrate that he is very much out of touch with the standard person, which is why he can't let Dan TDM off. I say Dan TDM as a standard person. What I mean is somebody that actually lives a life, as opposed to KSI's version of a life, one that is removed and therefore runs counter to his own music. I've often found it quite weird to see someone who's already wealthy get into something like rap that doesn't typically come from someone that's wealthy. You didn't have what many rappers had. Because of that, you are never going to be their kind. You're the privileged rapper. Yeah, that works.